Nathan Judah. I'm here with Wolves reporter. It is Mr. Liam King. Liam, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3. That's 3. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Everton 0. I'm going to say that's the most enjoyable football from start to finish as 90 minutes as I've seen this season. That was pretty special.
Yeah, I think so.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, the word I will use is control. And we spoke after the Brentford game about Wolves showing different sides to them, being clinical first half, not having a lot of control second half, but being professional, disciplined, organised, and they were impressive in those two aspects, in those two halves. Today they showed a totally different side of them again. This was control. They asserted their dominance on Everton. Now, don't get me wrong, this is an Everton side that have done fairly well this season, but today were pretty poor.
Yeah.
But that aside, Wolves just ground them into submission, winning the ball back, looking after the ball perfectly, creating chances. Everton hardly had a sniff, and Wolves deserved all 3 points.
Some of the phases of play throughout that game were a joy to watch. And look, we learned of the sad news before kick-off. Wolves tweeting out that Mario Lemina's father had unfortunately passed away. I don't think there could have been more of an apt moment than Captain Max Kilman scoring, going to Gary O'Neill, getting Lemina's shirt, the whole team there with his shirt, celebrating and obviously showing respect and thoughts to Mario Lemina and his family. Just a beautiful moment all round, and a very special moment for everybody who was in the stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Mario will be watching on. He'll be aware of all the messages, he'll be aware of the fan support and support of his players, and this proves in a dark moment for Mario and his family that this team is pulling together. Regardless,
families pulling together.
Exactly. Regardless of the scoreline today, Wolves had lost 3-0. That didn't really make a difference to the show of support that has gone towards Mario and his family, and that was absolutely deserved, not only for the player he's been for Wolves, but the person he's been for Wolves as well. So a great moment for Max Kilman to get only his second Wolves goal, and his first came against Everton here just over 2 years ago. So a great moment for him personally as well, and it was a lovely moment. And from then onwards, really, in what was probably a bit of a boring start to the game, albeit Wolves had a lot of control, but not a great game. Wolves really started to assert their dominance after that, and they were well worth the 3 goals. Had 2 disallowed, could have easily gone on to get more.
Yeah, second half I thought they were excellent. Look, Matheus Cunha scored, got the second of this game, but overall his play, not just today but recently, when Pedro Neto's been out, he is in sensational form. When we talk about Hwang Hee-chan, we talk about Mario Lemina, Matheus Cunha is playing some fantastic football this moment in time. Was that his 7th goal of the season?
I think it's his 6th goal of the season.
6th Premier League goal of the season, so would have been the top scorer in the previous 2 seasons.
I think it's 6th.
Assists as well, and look, Hwang, obviously a beautiful ball from Sarabia, but Hwang, lovely cross, and then he couldn't miss. But at the same time, his overall efforts in these games and these contributions are second to none. He's given a bit more of a free role. We saw him in the pivot role against Brentford. I felt he got a bit more freedom today. Look, Everton gave him a bit more freedom, but it shows exactly what he can do. The way that he controls the ball, traps it, moves, but also he's now deadly. And when he's finding the back of the net, as any striker wants to do, when they're scoring, the confidence is way up.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he'll get the assist for the first goal, albeit it was his cross that created the bedlam for Kilman's goal, and it was a beautiful cross as well. So he was involved in all 3 goals, scoring 1 himself and assisting Dawson. And his overall play, as you say, he's slightly adapted really, because he's been moved out to the left side a little bit. Definitely more of a free role. I think this is more in preparation for Wolves bringing in a number 9 in January. Clearly, they're starting to adapt him to this position. I think it's working perfectly for him, it really is. His ability to pick the ball up on the turn and beat a man and create opportunities, and then Wolves have got, I mean, he glides with the ball anyway, and he's not slow by any means, but they've got certainly more explosive players than him as well, and he opens opportunities to those around him as well as himself. I think, and I said this in the Brentford video as well, I'm a massive fan of Matheus Cunha. I think he's a really special player. You've just got to try and get the numbers around him to maybe supplement that. He's never going to be an out-and-out goal scorer, albeit his numbers so far are actually quite good. And I just think he's a perfect, almost luxury player to this team, but a luxury player that puts in the effort, and it isn't a luxury player, you know what I mean? He's so talented on the ball that you could almost allow him the excuse of not working hard, and he's the opposite of that. He works so hard for the team, runs so many yards, puts so much effort in. Those 2 things combined make him a perfect player for Wolves and for this fan base as well, who really feed off him.
Yeah, I'm just watching the players warming down here. Matt Hobbs is there high-fiving everyone. He's absolutely delighted, and it's like a family here. It's absolutely great. And when you look at the players, and the players have made such an impact. Cunha to Craig Dawson, who scored not with his head, not 2 yards out, but about 7 or 8 yards out with an outstretched leg. Probably, yeah. And bottom corner just epitomises that everyone's working for each other. And Craig Dawson back into the side today, back in the goals, and just finished off. What was a beautiful move.
Yeah. A lovely cross. I'm not quite sure whether he was meant to have the cross quite as flat as he did, but it worked. And it was a goal, and it was a goal from almost nothing. But it was a goal Wolves deserved. A goal Craig Dawson deserved. I thought he looked very good actually today. And to be honest, I could go through the majority of the team.
Yeah.
Thought Pablo Sarabia second half was absolutely magnificent. Second half. First half I thought he did struggle a little bit more on this, but second half brilliant. Semedo probably struggled first 10-15, maybe lost possession a few times after that. I thought he was outstanding. I could go through it. I mean, Totti Gomez again, so reliable. Max Kilman, proper rock at the back. I mean, I could go through this whole team, and I thought they were brilliant. And I will actually do one extra mention for Tommy Doyle, who didn't blow us away, but he did all the simple stuff perfectly.
Yeah. He did some dirty stuff as well today.
Exactly, he did. He got stuck in, and it's a tough ask for him to replace Mario Lemina. It really is. And I thought he was good. I thought he did a really good job. So I think he deserves that credit as well, because it wasn't an easy role to step in and do that today.
And people doubted, it was a physical game whether this could have been the game for him. And Boubacar Traoré, who, I know has just come back from
by the way,
illness.
Looked good when he came on.
He did look good when he came on. But you thought, maybe if he was fully fit, maybe he would be the one. But it wasn't. He went with Tommy Doyle, and like I say, I don't think he did anyone. I thought he was very good on the pitch today. Look, Wolves 3 wins in 3 in the Premier League. It's pretty special times. Look, Gary O'Neill, I'm sure when he sits down and he has a drink and he finally has a breather after this insane period, we'll look at this squad, we'll look at what he's achieved and go, crikey, because they are really, what you look at it, overachieving, I guess, to a certain extent. I mean, Wolves are on the cusp of the top half. If it wasn't for a Chelsea late goal today, then they would be in the top 10 going into 2024. But at the same time, and I know we keep saying it, there is a special unity about this team. And when you've got Pedro Neto coming on the field at the end of the game, who's been out for 8-9 weeks now, could have scored, great finish, and unfortunately there was an offside before that. When you've got Mario Lemina coming back into this side, when you've got players who will want to come to this football club to play under Gary O'Neill in January, yes, they might not be selling players for millions of pounds, but if you can improve 2 or 3 areas of this of this team, I tell you what, Liam, there's been stranger things that have happened. There's been stranger things that have happened in European Conference League.
Bloody hell, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Be through away. We're paralytic.
I'll be just as rough as this.
Oh, crikey.
Look,
but don't you know, it's starting to cut. And look,
there's momentum there.
Good things happen to good people, I feel, and that was a joy to watch today.
Yeah, and you've already mentioned on the video, but it was those attacking phases of play. I mean, Wolves was so smooth, silky, and the word I used in my tweet is classy. Wolves was so classy today.
Love that.
Really.
You're classy.
Thank you. You're not.
True.
No, and that's not just, by the way, in terms of football. Classy off the field as well. The way Gary Neal conducts himself, the way the players conduct themselves, the way they've looked after Mario Lemina over these last few days, and showed them the support today, as well as the fans. As you know, this is a classy football club in a good place right now. They've done a lot of work. We've spoken about this for months and months and months. Probably last year to 18 months or so, done a lot of work in moving players on and bringing players in. Players that want to be here, that want to play for this club. Moving players on that didn't want to be here, that didn't want to play for this club, that arrived under a cloud, that arrived for money, that arrived for whatever. They've done a lot of work on changing this squad. Now, yes, they are overachieving because of the depth issues and a few other issues with this squad. They can make changes too. But right now they're playing for Gary Neal, they're playing for the fans. And they've been absolutely brilliant. What a way to end 2023.
Absolutely fantastic. Look, I mean, you say they would have shown support today whether they'd won 3-0, lost 3-0. For me, there's no way this side were going to come here today and lose that game. There was a determination and a guile and a real spirit about not just the players but the fans and everyone that there was a real motivation there, wasn't there, to do something for Mario and his family in this time of devastation.
Yeah, and this is the way that this squad is pulling together again. This goes back to that work they've done on the characters, the kind of people as well as players that they're bringing into the club. And Mario Lemina himself epitomises that. He's someone who probably had a bit of a point to prove coming back to the Premier League. And my God, he has proven it. Obviously not here today, but the players around him, again, Matheus Cunha, a player who came for 43 million, Wolves overpaid for him because they needed to at the time. And he's a good player. He's done well at other clubs, but he's maybe not quite kicked onto the stage you would like him to at big clubs. He looks
like he's found a home, Liam.
He looks worth every penny right now. I mean, he's absolutely brilliant. But again, it's a player who I've spoken to, done it in interviews, and you get this sense from him quite a lot. He absolutely loves being here. That's the difference. We have players here that don't want to be here.
Don't want to be here.
That is the major difference for me.
Get lost, Guedes. Get lost, Pedez. I don't want them here. I don't want them at the club, mate. I don't want them at the club. Who wants to see them? Who wants to see them when they're not bothered and they're paying the wages? Go off, go and play with someone else. Sell them. I want to see Matheus Cunha on the pitch. I want to see Mario Lemina on the pitch. I want to see Boubacar Traoré on the pitch. I want to see Max Kilman on the pitch. Get them gone. Get some cash for him, lads.
I can't argue, and this is testament to the work that Matt Hobbs by and large has done, because obviously he's been here a lot longer than Gary O'Neill, but also Gary in the way that he's galvanised this group, because as a group that he's given a renewed confidence, belief, and a way of playing that right now they are tactically spot on and hard to beat, scoring goals but also hard to beat.
Look, they've got a break now. Gary O'Neill's going to give them a few days off, and my goodness, do they deserve it. But come back, Brentford in the FA Cup, another good chance to, I guess, have a look at some of the players who potentially haven't been getting much of a game. I think it'll be a fairly strong side. Pedro Neto, you would have thought it'd be
because they've not got a massive spot.
Yeah,
they're going to have to play some players.
But the likes of Sasha Kalajic, Boubacar Traoré, Hugo Bueno came onto the pitch.
Well. Yeah.
Santi Bueno,
Doc as well.
Maybe Doc, maybe even Bentley in goal.
Yeah.
But these are the chances that you're going to get, and a lot of people are saying, well, would you take a win at Brentford on Wednesday night or an FA Cup win? For me, you take the points every single time, and whether Wolves are going to finish 10th or 11th this season or 12th or 13th, you take the Premier League points. But the way that they're playing, there's definitely a positivity. They can go there and win with whatever side they play, whatever side of the field. Gary O'Neill's in a great position now, isn't he, for the next week or so, where he can pick and choose and see what happens. Of course, they're going to lose players now to the African Cup of Nations, to the Asia Cup, but this is probably the dream send-off that you could have hoped for.
Yeah, 100%. I think at this stage of the competition with the FA Cup, you obviously take the 3 points in any league game rather than going through in that game. It'd be different if Wolves get to the quarter-final.
Yeah, that's a different question.
That's a different question.
We're in the third round.
But yeah, exactly. And they've got an opportunity against Brentford now. All those players we just mentioned, to give them games. Doyle again, maybe. Boubacar Traoré. Neto potentially. Kalajic. So there's a lot of players here that you can give minutes to. And they've got some very good young players. Nathan Fraser, Twanda Chirewa, players coming through that may get minutes in those games as well. Hwang going off to the Asia Cup is obviously a massive loss. You're going to lose Aït-Nouri as well, and you need to get through what is going to be still a tough test at Brentford, but you've got to try and be competitive.
Of course.
But would I prefer them to lose that and go and win against Brighton on Monday?
Absolutely.
Monday 22nd?
Monday night, buzzing for that trip.
Absolutely. So, luckily for Gary O'Neill, it's a good send-off for the players that are going now today, but he's also got a little bit more wiggle room with the winter break and less games coming up. So, hopefully, it'll be easier to manage, because I can imagine the last week or two has not been an easy one.
Last video of 2023, mate. Totes emotion.
It is emotional. That big 2024 coming.
You know what is coming. Now, for the people who have been watching this for a while, I feel like it would be amazing if you did a .com at the end. Now, is that possible? Have you got the kahunas to do it?
You put me on the spot here.
So I'm saying, Liam King.
Is anyone around? Is anyone looking at me?
I mean, they're still broadcasting there. Mikey Burrows, Tomo's there, but apart from that, no one's watching. Are you ready?
Do you want to set me up?
Okay, you ready? I'm so excited.
I'm nervous.
Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Everton 0. For the post-match reaction for the last time in 2023, please go to Express and Star. Go!